Hello, my name is Raymond Garchevsky. I am a living Christ. Today I want to speak to you about what makes this man different than every other man that you see on the internet or you meet in daily life. The answer is quite simple. I speak only truth, the what is. The non-dualistic energy which unfolds in the moment of now and can only be grasped in the moment of now by paying attention. Not by remembering what you have been taught, for that is your conditioning, that is your stricture into unbending, egoistic, habitual thought that has been coercively imposed upon you by education, by authority, the authority of government, the authority of a religion, the authority which you imagine. For authority is just an imagination, a fiction, a thought that you hold in your satanically ruled intellectual mind, the mind of division, the intellect. Now, the reason that this living Christ speaks to the wind is to convey that which is what is to those who are capable of grasping that energy which is beyond the intellect. You see, all you have in the intellect are rigid ideas and thoughts and beliefs imposed upon you, conditioning you, restricting your behavior, holding you accountable to a fictitious satanic rule, the rule of the intellect. You see, that's the fiction. That's what rules this fictional life that we call civilized. You see, you must agree, you must consent to the belief in that fiction to function in this world, the world of hell, the world of divisive duality, of opposites. Hence you are confused. Therefore you live in fear, uncertainty. And you cast about looking for some sort of stability in your life, something to hold on to, something to allow you to depend upon, to rely upon. That's what a child does, you see. And you're all children. In fact, you're treated as children by religion. You're regarded as the sheep, being held accountable to the shepherd, the authority, the priest, the minister, the middleman, satanic power that wields control over your life through suggestion, hypnotic suggestion. That's what civilized means. You're regimented. You're formed. Your behavior is predictable. And it's enforceable if you don't live according to that prediction. And it's done by laws. Now, what are laws? They're words. Words are not truth. They bear a resemblance. They claim to represent truth. And you must realize, in order to function on this plane of existence, living on this dualistic plane of civilized life, you are subject to words, subject to the law, to man's law, to Satan's law. For that's what man's law is. There are millions of words, millions of statements, clauses, dictates that require your behavior to be regulated, and if not, you are punished. That's what living in hell is all about. You're not free. You have lost sight of who you are. You have left your subconscious mind, the mind of non-duality, the mind of truth, the creative mind, the mind of God, the creator of all life on earth. Yes, you create life on earth. All you merely have to do is open your eyes and survey your creation. For that creation is different from man to man, woman to woman. The cohesiveness of that perception comes only with coercive indoctrination. That's done through words, given a word to an otherwise undefined energy, which is unfolding eternally in this moment of now. However, your attention has been hijacked. You have been stripped away from your subconscious mind, your creative mind, your non-dualistic mind of truth, and thrust into a fictitious world of duality, of intellection. There you are inundated with words which contain various definitions. And those definitions differ from word to word, from person to person, from interpreter to interpreter. Can you see how hell begins to form in your life? The Tower of Babel is nothing more than the evidence of words according to different cultures, which require different sorts of behavior, which then pit man against man. Man is all one. Man is the creator. Woman is the creator. You understand that? I hope you do. Otherwise, you're confused. You have been stripped of your ability to observe what is, to be at one with what is, to be the light, the truth, and the way. That's what a Christ is. Just a simple man or woman of truth. Now, you see, you've never heard of a woman Christ, have you? That's because your conditioning does not allow for it. You're ruled by authoritative masculine energy, satanic energy, that dictates how you must interpret the words that are imposed upon you. And so we live basically in a masculine world. The judges. Do you understand? The lawyers, all Satanists, all men and women who interpret words, who create fiction, a fictional world of divisiveness, of strife, of confusion. And they then rush to your aid with words that are called laws, which regulate your behavior. You understand, behavior is different from thought. It's a different level of energy. And your behavior is closer to the truth than are your thoughts. You must put your thoughts into action. But if you find yourself regulated, you find yourself reacting to stimuli, which is what an intellectual mind does. Question and answer. That should open your eyes as to why this living Christ speaks to the wind, to all who have the capacity to understand. And if not, they continue in their confusion. I speak of truth, spiritual truth, the what is. I must use words because I'm dealing with dumbed down, regimented Satanists. Each and every one of you bear that title, and that just angers you. You understand? You feel insulted. You feel that I am talking down to you. It is you who are looking up to this Christ and therefore interpreting as being talked down to. I merely speak the truth and let the chips fall as they may. But to you, you require flattering. You require pandering. You love being lied to. In your state of incapacity, you desire to be told how wonderful, how marvelous, how intelligent you are when you know otherwise, because that's the struggle that creates the proposed insult that you feel when this living Christ speaks the truth to you. Now, what do we do about it? What is there to do about it? Understand? That's your purpose in being here on this earth at this time, to find out who you are, because you've forgotten. You've left your subconscious mind. You are no longer subject to the truth. You obey. You are trapped. You are a slave to words, to thoughts, to ideas. And you worship words. You worship fictional tales of superhuman events tied to a man called Jesus. Well, here's something for you to think about. Jesus was no different than you, than I. A simple man, but he was a simple man of truth. I am such a simple man of truth also. I have been subjected to the same satanic powers of education that you have, all of you, but I have been unaffected by it. I have walked the line, and I have taken the lumps that go along with walking a straight line in a crooked world, a world of envy, of harm, of deception, of lies. And I have remained unattached, unbiased by it. That's what Christ is. Not your belief. Not your belief in your Savior. You see? You understand the word Savior? It's only a word. But it is a word that splits you into you and your Savior. And what is that Savior? It's your own thought. A thought that has been imposed upon you forcibly by another who controls your behavior. That's religious conditioning. Oh, if you don't believe, you will go to hell. I've got hot news for you. You're living in hell right now. For hell is nothing more than duality that splits your consciousness into the you and the not you. And thus you are thrown into forever, eternal conflict within yourself. And you project that conflict outwardly in your fictional reality, in your imaginings with all others. And so you create your own hell in your own fictional world, believing it to be real. And as long as you remain in that intellectual prison, you are in hell for eternity. Now, eternity is another word. What is real about that which is infinite? So that's what the word implies, eternity. Without beginning, without end. Well, you were born, you're living, and you're going to die. That can't be eternity. You understand? That can't be truth. Yet, to many of you, that is the sum total of your life, and you live in fear of your time of death. Why? Because it's not complete, it's not whole, and you fear the unknown. So you fear what's on the other side of the veil of death. But that's the fiction. That's your belief. You're not that. You are eternal. You are God. You are the infinite energy of what is truth. That's what Christ consciousness is, and it's thrust into a world of satanic hell. I understand that. I accept that as a fact of living in truth. And you see, if those of you who wish to investigate my life, I'm 83 years old. Want to go back that far? Check me out anytime. You will see the emergence of a Christ consciousness in a world of hell, untouched by the powers of hell, the authorities of the satanic religions, satanic governments. You understand? That destiny is yours also. For you and I are one. I am nothing more than the average man who has transcended the dualistic conditioning, the educational imprisoning of the intellect, thereby restricting one's behavior. I am beyond the intellect. I speak truth. You can argue that, and you will, but you can't ignore the fact that my energy is different than any other man who has spoken to you in life. Well, there are many who claim to have conversations with God. But you see, that's dualistic. That's satanic. You're God. You are the God that are condemned by Satanists as a blasphemer who claims to be that which is impossible. And it is for Satanists, for they are restricted to thought, to dead thought, intellectual thought. They can't handle the truth, the what is. That applies to most of you. That's quite a revelation, isn't it? To understand that you're addicted to words, you're addicted to idols, fictitious symbols that pretend to be that which they are not. That's what civilized behavior is all about. As long as you live in a civilized society, you're all living in hell. And you're striving to get out of it. I've just told you how to do so. It remains to be seen whether you can do it. Thank you for your attention. To those who just cut off this video because you were insulted. You've self-determined your own satanic self by doing so. And that's where you'll remain and suffer. Thank you.